I'd like to welcome you today to Covenant Keepers Ministries. It's Monday, September the 9th, 2024. And I'd like to this week just talk about this anti-toxin that God has given us dealing with sin. So let me read this out of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. I'm sure most of you know this verse. But for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So I really intend this week to just reinforce this very clear thought that God has provided an antitoxin to clear out the toxic waste in our lives. And the result should be that every single day, you and I take this antitoxin and apply it in order for us to remain free from the toxic waste of sin that tries to bombard us in this life. For a brief period of time in my life, I was an elk hunter. Can't say I was anything special about it, and I haven't hunted elk for at least 8 years now. But I do love elk meat. It's organic and tastes simply delicious. And I have friends who have bow hunted for elk in Wyoming and Colorado and called bull elk to within just a few feet of where they were hiding. And so sometimes back I was taken by a surprise. This article in the local newspaper where I was living at the time spoke of a mysterious illness sickening and killing elk in southern Wyoming. And as of the writing of that article, 304 elk have been found dead. The elk were falling to the ground and could not get up. And many eventually died of thirst. Efforts by dozens of biologists and game wardens using a helicopter and a warehouse for toxicology tests spent thousands of dollars trying to save the elk. It didn't take them too long. Actually, in a short period of time, they had an answer. A mossy plant native to the Rockies, a lichen known as Parmelia molluscula, was the culprit. It contained an acid that was breaking down the muscle tissue, causing the elk to lose strength. And armed with the new information, the tracking of the elk, they began to tackle the issue to bring to an end the scare that was decimating that herd that was in southern Wyoming. Unfortunately, there's a similar mollusk that has invaded the human race. It entered the human race clear back in the Garden of Eden. And it's been killing off the human race ever since. Millions upon millions and billions of humanity have fallen prey to this invasion, and no one seems to care about it. The media has totally left it alone. The politicians pretend it doesn't exist. Governments say there's nothing we can do about it, either the cause or the cure. And most people live unawares of its presence until its final blow strikes. Some have been known to curse God when this happens. Others remain in danger of destruction but haven't a clue what to do. And some are aware of this disease. In spite of what they know, in spite of the facts that surround them, there's a certain destruction associated with it continuing to mix with toxins. And you know, of course, I'm talking about sin. It has destroyed and is destroying millions of human beings right now. Jesus Christ, God's one and only Son, provides for its destruction, sin's destruction, by his blood. And it becomes effective for us by our believing in his completed work at Calvary. So I'm going straight to the point today. Have you repented of your sin? If so, sin's power over your life has been broken. And here's what we do know. According to the Bible, God's word to all of humanity. As long as you and I live on this planet, we call Earth, that the world and Satan, the world, by the way, under Satan's power, will do everything to bring you back under sin's influence after you've repented and turned from your wicked ways and have come to follow Jesus. But praise God, an antitoxin has been provided, and you and I have it probably in 3 or 4 places in our home. And if you have a smartphone, you probably have the app loaded onto your smartphone. Here it is. It's called the Bible. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So you and I need to take the antitoxin every day of our life to prevent sin from once again invading us. Will you pray with me? Father, thank you for the preservation of your word even to this day in September 9, 2024, that none of us have any legitimate excuse who know you to avoid taking the antitoxin that will prevent sin from trying to invade our life again. Oh God, help us. Help us to get into your word and help us to hide that word in our heart so that we will not sin against you. Oh, I'm thankful. I'm thankful, God, today for the Bible. I'm thankful that I'm habitually reading it. I'm praying over it. I'm letting it search me out, and I'm giving you glory today that it's keeping sin away. For your glory and your shed blood, I praise you. Amen. Okay, God bless you. You know what? This is a day that we're going to get into God's word and take the antitoxin against this toxic thing called sin. God bless you as you're in God's word today.